All right, day after my favorite day, Thursday, and you can see here the week started with a gap up and really flatlining since Tuesday, and we've been in the same range so far today. You are again looking at a tight inside of our normal ATR so far, and our ATR is about 18 and a half. It has actually fallen off a bit here this week. A couple things I want to point out. So the ranges this week: 8.5, 8.25 rather, 9.25, 10.5, 9.75, and 8. Very tight. Next week's the Fed meeting again. First week of May. We're wrapping up April today. So we're limping in. We're at the highs. S&P not, basically gapped up and stopped. NASDAQ continued all week. NASDAQ's up about 3% from Friday's close, and I'll show that in just a moment. But you can see here, there is this entire hole that I thought once we got to breaking 84 Thursday, right on the open, that we'd probably fall through. We found some buyers there for whatever reason. The only thing I can really see is, we didn't even get to test the high from Monday. So I don't know, but an algo came in, saved the market. Again, this is typical of kind of pre-Fed action. So there seems to be a permanent bias to keep prices higher always into the Fed. And so we've kind of stayed there this week. There's still this hole that would be nice if we cleaned up today and maybe traded back to kind of the midpoint from Monday's trade, which was 70. We still have a gap all the way back to 44. So you got a 40-point hang here, and for the week, your point of control is right here at 85. And but again, you go back to the longer time frames, and although the Nasdaq has seen new highs, we still haven't seen new highs as it relates to the S&P. So the S&P got to 94 this week, but that is not all-time area again for us. It did hit 2,400 back here in that was 1st of March. So that's where we are. Real simple. We've been in this really a big bracket now for a solid since this wedge. The last Fed meeting, by the way, was this last February, where we were just climbing into that Fed meeting. Since then, we've been in this bracket, and I would call the bracket this zone basically from the low here, and we entered this. This would have been mid-February, so we've been here from February all the way to today, which is the end of the month here in April. So that being said, here's your bracket. We've been in this this trend now for this bracket now for well over 2.5 months, and that zone is about, I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's 83 points. So the next 83 points in my book is going to come on a week and or month close out and above this range, 2,400 down to 2319. 17, somewhere in there. So that's the range that we've been in. We've been in this for, as I said, really going back to mid-February to early February. You can see that trend, and we've been in a trend line now again into this next Fed meeting. Fed meeting's coming out. They've been talking interest rate increases again, so maybe they're going to do another one, raise it again. GDP numbers weren't so hot today, and it's again, we're just kind of stuck in the muck on the real short-term basis this week. Is it a trap game? Are we setting up for another move down as we hang up here on the top? Now the Nasdaq I did mention did make another new high, and I want to show that real quick. It actually, I think it traded I think it got pretty close to 5,600 yesterday, so it's up considerably. Had a huge ramp, and again, I don't even know why at the end of the day yesterday, but there was a huge ramp spike at the close where it took us from 55, 70, it must have been earnings related, all the way up here to just shy of 5,600. So again, last week with the Nasdaq closing around 54.38, this is up 150, we'll call it 160 points to the high. I mean, this is a well over 3% move in the NASDAQ this week. Just a monstrous move compared to the S&P, which is less than 2. So just on a short-term basis, I mean, the NASDAQ is really, 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 really overcooked and at all-time highs. The Dow, the S&P, the Russell have not hit new highs for the year once again, but this is really what the NASDAQ continues to do, while the real companies, as I like to say, are lagging. So that's kind of how we see it. Fed meeting next Wednesday is the rate announcement. We'll be back next week. Hope you have a great weekend. Be careful out there. Enjoy the spring, hopefully wherever you may be. And if you have any questions, as always, just drop us a line. Have a great weekend.